or now, you know?
Right?
Well,
Yeah.
let's go ahead and get started.
Yes. So anyways, I'll kick it off. Thank you for coming. This is about informed delivery. I hope that you're aware of that and basically how you should be using informed delivery to improve your mail response. I have to say that I was excited about this thing when I first heard about it in 2017, and it was a product that really, to my belief, brought the postal service into the 21st century. I'm hoping that everybody on this call is a user of informed delivery. That's what I wanted this poll to be. I wanted to ask, if someone is not used informed delivery themselves or is not registered, I'd love you to put that in the chat or raise your hand or use one of the things. I feel that it's a big missing out point if you're not using this. I look at it, everyone in my family looks at it. It's great because if the kids are in town and they empty the mailbox, I still know what was in there if they stood over the trash can and dumped everything. So I just love this product and I'm excited for this talk, and I thank you guys for being here. And I'm going to turn it over to Christine and Mo to kind of delve a bit deeper into it, but I'm sure I will interrupt and give you my 2 cents where I feel is needed. So go ahead, Mo, why don't you take the baton and I will be quiet.
Sure. Yeah. So thanks, Brad. We are going to really hone in on the informed delivery promotion since it's starting on August 1st, but we are going to give you a lot of additional valuable content with regards to how we can lower direct mail costs while improving the response. But the informed delivery promotion will be a primary focus, but we are touching on a lot of other valuable content. Now, just a little bit about us, Brad is our CEO here of Direct Mail 2.0 and co-founder. And Brad, did you want to tell a little bit about yourself and a little bit about Direct Mail 2.0 actually?
Hold on, I got a phone ringing at a certain time, but sure. I've been here about 5 years, and I came before this from the e-commerce world, and I've always been fascinated with technology. This was an interesting opportunity was presented with me because of this. When I came from e-commerce, we sold a couple products that have gone into extinction, CDs and DVDs. And I'd been selling them before there was an even e-commerce model to sell things online. And we did really well. I mean, you saw them in gas stations, you saw them in department stores. CDs and DVDs were everywhere. And as that product moved online, it was a perfect product for online e-commerce sales. It was small, it was light, it could be packaged up and mailed out relatively cheaply. The US Post Office had a product called Media Mail, where you could mail CDs or books or DVDs at a below standard price, well below first class mail, and it was a light parcel. So it was really a great e-commerce item, and we did really well. I got to meet Jeff Bezos a couple times. We were one of the #1 sellers of CDs and DVDs on Amazon for years. And that industry was disrupted by technology. Most of you probably don't even own a CD or DVD. And the last time you bought one, we were in a different decade. So that business sort of evaporated. I grew it from $1 million a year to $25 million. We had 55 staff. And I was the last guy who wrote it down back to zero. So when I began searching for another business opportunity, the primary thing was an industry that cannot be disrupted, something that technology will not come along and disrupt. And so what is that? I'm in marketing. But what's cool about it is we're taking a product that is printed marketing mail and we're enhancing it with digital technology. And, as a segue or a lead in, this product of informed delivery, the post office has done that with your mail. And that's, I guess, one of the reasons I like it so much. So I've been here for 5 years. When I heard about this technology, we were one of the first to launch it. And we actually got, I think we must be close to 20,000 campaigns launched with informed delivery at this point. As of the last time I checked we were the most prolific user of informed delivery in the United States. So we know something about this. We've delivered tens of thousands of campaigns with amazing results. And I just want to spread the word. So hopefully I didn't go over my time limit. Thanks, Mel.
No, thanks, Brad. My name is Morgan DiGiorgio. I'm the SVP Sales here at Direct Mail 2.0. I'll just keep it real short and sweet. I've got about 19 years experience in different leadership roles in sales, marketing. I'm a co-founder of a technology-based medical company. The technology and marketing background was the perfect culmination to my start here at Direct Mail 2.0 in 2018. I would say that I am a subject matter expert in marketing and in particular omni-channel marketing, and we're going to touch on the utilization of some of those tools today to lower the cost of direct mail and improve response as well. And then I'll just pass it over to Christine to give a quick intro of yourself too.
Well, good afternoon, and I do apologize. I'm having some video difficulties, so you're not going to be able to see my face, but you got a picture. That's enough for the moment until I get it working.
No worries.
No worries. Good afternoon, and thank you, Direct Mail 2.0, for having me. I am the Vice President of Professional Services at TEC Mailing Solutions. We are a SaaS-based software company that supports the mailing and printing industry in cleansing your data, pre-sorting your data, as well as some pretty awesome tools for those that might be shipping parcels and meeting a lot of data quality needs. I've been in this industry way too long, but I love what I do. And I've seen both Brad and Morgan at the various, happy to be back in trade show world. And looking forward to today to talk about not only informed delivery, but some of the changes going on in the Postal Service and how you can offset some of those changes.
Absolutely. All right. Well, let's go ahead and kick it off. Let's get into our content. So, our primary purpose here at Direct Mail 2.0 is to make direct mail the most effective marketing channel. Everything that we do here is by means of integrating technology so that we can seamlessly track direct mail or improve its response. I'm a huge advocate of the direct mail marketing channel. I don't feel that it gets as much credit as it should. And it's an incredible channel, that has so much to offer. People look forward to going out to their mailbox and seeing what's in it. They trust the direct mail marketing channel. They prefer brand communications this way. 66% of direct mail is opened. And, when I think about what I do in the morning when I open my email, if I'm not looking for an email, I'm delete. And I could never tell you what is in that email. But when I go out to my mailbox, when I make a decision whether or not I'm going to retain a piece of mail or not, I look at it first before I discard it. And I can recall that marketing message that was sent to me when I have that physical, tangible mail piece. And 82% of mail is read for a minute or more. And if I do decide to retain it, I'm going to stick it on my refrigerator. I'm going to put it in a pile here, and it's going to stay in my household and last a lot longer than an email or another digital impression that's only there for a split second. And even let's not even talk about a catalog that could sit on somebody's coffee table for maybe a year or more. So the direct mail marketing channel is so effective, and it's definitely a channel that should be utilized in your marketing mix. Most recent data here from the 2022 ANA response rate report is showing that direct mail actually has the highest ROI out of all of these channels at 112%. And I just feel that this is such interesting data because a lot of times I've talked to prospects or clients about the direct mail marketing channel, its effectiveness and how integral it is to really incorporate this in your marketing mix. And sometimes they might tell me, well, we cut that out or we don't use it. And when I ask them why, one of their reasons is they say it's expensive. Well, when you're looking at a channel, you need to look at the response because in most instances, you would need to utilize exponentially more of these digital channels to achieve the same response as the direct mail marketing channel. So I just think that this data is so important, that we're educating ourselves on this, that we can educate our customers on this so that we know that direct mail is a contender in the ring and we are achieving a very high ROI from this channel. But that being said, we have been experiencing so many challenges with the direct mail marketing channel, and they're really centered around price and cost. And that's what we're really going to dive into today is not only how we can improve the direct mail marketing channel. I mean, obviously, it's performing so well, but there's always ways that we can improve any marketing channel. But how do we offset some of these costs? You know, we encountered a historically high postage increase. Now we just are having another one here in July. We're having paper supply issues, which is driving up the cost of paper if it's even available. And then of course, other supply chain issues are driving the cost of our direct mail up because our direct mail service providers, unfortunately, you know, we are having to pass these price increases along to our customers. So, you know, how do we offset some of these costs, or how do we deal with some of these challenges that are maybe making us take a second look at the direct mail channel and considering maybe putting our marketing spend into other channels? Well, you know, I have good news, because there was actually a report that was just recently done. It was the 2022 State of Direct Mail Report. And everything is pointing to the fact that, notwithstanding all the price increases that we're experiencing, the direct mail marketing channel is still worth the investment. Now, this is actually very powerful. There was 170 marketing execs interviewed, companies with 1,000 plus more employees, mailing all the way up to 100 million pieces per year or more. Some of them were reporting that they're still achieving a 200% ROI with their direct mail marketing channel, even with the current price increases that they're encountering. 67% said that direct mail is delivering the highest ROI. That's two-thirds of them. And I think one of the most important things to note here is that they know that omni-channel marketing is what is really driving a response with our marketing strategy. And they know that direct mail is an integral piece to that marketing mix. So even if our customers are utilizing other channels, educating them on the utilization of mail and how they can improve their other channels by integrating mail is very important as well. So how are we going to continuously improve the response to the direct mail marketing channel and lower costs? And this is what Christine and I are really going to touch on today. And I can say that one of the most simple things that we can do to improve our response and lower costs is tracking. And it seems so simple, but really drilling down into how we're tracking is very important. You know, we're all familiar with the utilization of, you know, pearls, landing pages, promo codes. In our platform, we have call and text tracking and QR codes. We have a custom reporting dashboard that we can really drill into the responses of things. But I want to just touch on the fact that going further than just tracking number of responses is very important. You know, really looking into who is responding. And when I say who, I mean the demographics of the age groups, what creatives are working for those audiences, what messages are working and what don't. And by utilizing all this data, we can continuously trim all the fat off of our marketing so that we can continue to optimize for our better direct mail costs and ROI, right? We don't want to just keep sending out the same message over and over. And we have access to so much technology at our fingertips, whether it's us as a direct mail service provider, or if there's any, you know, people that are utilizing the direct mail marketing channel here on the webinar today. You know, we have access to this technology, and utilizing it to hone into this data to cut costs is very important, right? We want to create this streamlined marketing machine where we're continuously improving the response, we're lowering our costs, and we're driving the highest ROI we can on our direct mail marketing spend. So, you know, USPS has several different postal promotions that they've rolled out. You know, some of them have been going on for some time this year. We're going to touch on a few of them. Informed delivery is one of them, since it's right around the corner on August 1st. But these postage promotions, they are utilizing technology that is increasing and improving the response to direct mail. And then as an ancillary benefit, you get to take advantage of postage savings to help offset some of these postage increases and other cost increases that we've been experiencing. So, you know, the first one that I want to talk about is informed delivery. You know, this is an unsung hero, in my opinion. And like Brad said, if we are not offering this to our customers on their direct mail campaigns, you know, we are really doing them a disservice. If you're utilizing the direct mail marketing channel and you're not adding this, you're missing out on a simple technology that can not only improve the response to your mail, but you can also now, starting August 1st, take advantage of a 4% postage discount. So informed delivery, just in case somebody on the webinar is not sure what it is an offering by the United States Postal Service. Everyone signed up for this in the morning gets an email or a mobile notification that shows them the mail that's going to be in their mailbox. So when a direct mail piece is opted into informed delivery, it does a couple of things to add value. One, it moves it to the top of the list. It's the first thing that the prospect sees when they open their mail, which is important because you only get a split second to get someone's attention. And then there is a full color ride along image that is embedded right under the direct mail. This is giving the ability to have an online response to an offline marketing channel. And this is very valuable because your opportunity to get that additional impression with your audience is huge. We get about a 65 to 68% open rate on an informed delivery email. That is astronomical. Okay. As far as an email marketing channel goes, maybe to a house list, you'd be lucky to achieve somewhere around 18%. So to get a 65 to 68% open rate, you know, your likelihood of getting that additional impression and getting in front of that audience is very high. Now, in addition to getting that additional value on top of your direct mail campaign, starting August 1st, you can take advantage of a 4% postage discount. Now, this is double the discount from last year. Last year, it was 2%. They're coming out strong with a 4% discount. And, you know, one thing too that I think is very valuable to note here is that nonprofit marketing mail qualifies for this. So that's super valuable because they already have that reduced rate of postage, and now they can also add that 4% postage discount above and beyond that. So if you notice, this promo goes all the way through the end of the year. So this would be a great opportunity to start talking to your nonprofit clients, because we know that they mail a tremendous amount of mail near the end of the year. And so this is a way that you could capture new nonprofit mail business or add additional value for your nonprofit clients. So there's 3 core campaign elements here. Representative image. This is required for flats. It's optional for letters and other mail pieces. You must have a ride along with a clear call to action that is at least 20% of the image area, and there must be a significant color contrast for that call to action. So, you know, these requirements that are in place are really geared towards utilizing best practices to help drive that response, right? And then of course, a URL, a destination URL where the prospect will land when they click on the ad, and it must start with HTTPS. So these are some examples of acceptable call to action. The call to action cannot have anything that is steering anybody away from the utilization of mail. So no go paperless or sign up for electronic statements. And also it can't be vague. It has to be clear and specifically state what you want the prospect to do. Any of our partners that, you know, are on the webinar today, great news, Direct Mail 2.0 qualifies for this discount, whether it's a full service campaign or a mail tracking job with informed delivery. And of course, we're always trying to add value and make things simple for our partners. So when you create a job in the dashboard, it actually will create a promo PDF report that you just take and you submit into the mailing promotions portal. So you don't have to compile everything. We have a nice report that's created for you. It has all the data that's required for you guys to submit that. So we try to streamline that and make that simple for you. And I'll talk a little bit about the new mailing promotions portal here in just a few minutes also. So other promotion is the mobile shopping promo. This is really centered around utilizing QR codes. And there's been a huge resurgence in the utilization of QR codes. People are very inclined to use them because during COVID, restaurants were using them for menus, among other things. Technology on phones makes it very simple to just pull out your device and scan a QR code. So this is helping to improve the response to mail since people are likely to scan a QR code. The other thing too is this is touching on the trackability. So you're really getting a 2-for-1 here by improving your direct mail cost by tracking it effectively and also improving the response. So this mobile shopping promo is a 2% discount. This starts on September 1st. Now, I did have someone ask me yesterday about this. Some of these promotions do require you to submit a hard copy sample of the mail piece to the BMEU. The informed delivery discount does not require that. They removed that requirement last year. So you do not have to submit a hard copy sample at the BMEU. You do have to submit a hard copy sample at the BMEU for the mobile shopping promotion. So we also do have the ability to generate and utilize QR codes in our platform. But anybody that's utilizing these QR codes, of course, can take advantage of it. Very important though, also, it can't just be the utilization of a QR code. It has to be providing a direct link right to a website where it's engaging in a purchase, right, for an advertised product. So just simply having a QR code on the mail piece isn't going to qualify for a 2% postage discount, or even in nonprofits, they can even provide a link for a sale of services or to make a donation. Okay. The personalized color trans promo is another one. So for any direct mail service providers or any customers on that are utilizing transactional mail, this is the promotion that you can take advantage of. Very common to promote or market at the bottom of transactional mail. Let's say that you're a bank and maybe on the bank statement, you want to market at the very bottom, $200 promo to open a new savings account, or maybe you want to market the fact that you have 1% interest rates on a car loan, right? So there's a lot of things that you can market at the bottom of transactional statements. I know sometimes for my electric company too, they will do some co-marketing with like solar panel companies and things like that. And so if you utilize color, it has to be 2 or more colors to highlight the offer. It cannot be black, white, or grayscale. You're also harnessing the technology in print, a variable print here, and you can highlight whatever that offer, that promotion is, and you could take advantage of a 3% postage discount. Again, no content that promotes going paperless, not even online billing or anything about the removal of mail. And one other thing that is important to note also, if you are going to engage in repeat participation, then the messaging actually has to be personalized to that direct mail recipient. And the only exception for that would be if you're engaging in cross-selling or upselling. Okay. Now, emerging and advanced technology promo is another one. This is only going through about August 31st. I'm just going to touch on this very briefly because there is a lot to this promotion. You can get anywhere from around 2 to 3%, but in all reality, there are so many different components of this promo. We could have a whole webinar on each of these different components of the emerging and advanced tech, but it's centered around the utilization of things like augmented reality or video and print technology, voice assistant, and some really neat things that you can use. Okay. So, USPS Mailing Promotions Portal. There is a brand new portal. USPS has done something very neat. they actually created an entire portal for you to submit all of your mail pieces for approval. Previously in past years, there would be an email address for each of the different mailing promotions where you would have to submit your mail piece. This is super neat, guys. When you submit your mail piece for approval, you can actually track, you can see all of your submissions, you can see when it's been approved, you can ask questions through the portal. I know that the emails are still live and they are still using them, but they're really trying to migrate away from them. I don't know that they're manning them as aggressively as they were. So getting signed up for this mailing promotions portal, if you want to take advantage of these discounts, is very important. I do have an entire document on this mailing promotions portal, how to register, how to submit questions, how to submit for each of the promotions. If you would like a copy of that, please feel free to email me at morgand@dm20.com. Or if you're a partner of ours, reach out to your marketing and sales consultant. So this promotions portal is really neat. Also, USPS has informed me that they have an entire team of individuals that are manning the promotions approvals this year. And so they have said that they should be able to decrease the approval time to hopefully around 1 to 2 days. They said don't quote them on it, but it is a vast improvement from the 4 to 5 day window that we were dealing with last year. So a few things need to take place in order for you to take advantage of these promotions. The first thing is that you need to register for them in the gateway, right? Then you need to register for this promotions portal. And then through this promotions portal, you have the ability to register for the specific promotion, okay? So what's another way that we can improve the response rate to our mail and also take advantage of cost savings? Well, one is creating digital experiences with omni-channel marketing. Okay, so omni-channel marketing, we're hearing about this everywhere. USPS is heavily promoting omni-channel marketing. Specialists and subject matter experts are heavily promoting omni-channel because it is what is driving the highest response with our marketing strategy. And so this is just giving you some mass about what an omni-channel campaign looks like with the utilization of mail. We can see here that we have the direct mail piece, we have all of that messaging and branding and imagery translating to all of these other channels, right? Whether it's the direct mail piece, the billboard, the digital ads, we see the Gecko, the Geico, and the 15 minutes could save you 15% or more translated through all of these channels. So just imagine that you were to receive a direct mail piece, right? And now a couple of days later, you see this messaging on social, and then you drive by a billboard, and it's really helping to trigger that familiarity that is going to drive a response to the mail. It's also giving people the ability to respond through the channels that they prefer to respond through. And it's also utilizing repetition. And it doesn't matter what channel you're utilizing, it is so integral to employ repetition because that is what drives marketing success. You can literally post your mailer digitally. You can reuse that same content over multiple channels, saving you time and money. You're getting more bang for your buck. You're increasing your brand awareness. And this is really what we do here at Direct Mail 2.0 is we have a marketing automation platform that for a few pennies per mail piece, we actually deploy these omni-channel campaigns. Right. So we're typically seeing a very high lift in response to the direct mail marketing channel, and we're doing so very inexpensively. The other thing that's really important is to stay consistent. If you really want to maximize the utilization of your marketing budget, take your budget, divide that by 12 months, and run your mailers on a monthly basis. Do not, do a wasteful, sporadic shot in the dark campaign where you just burn all of your marketing budget on a one-off. That is not effective marketing strategy. It's not effective tactic. You're going to need to find a way to acquire a new marketing budget to drive a response. You will get a much better response from your budget if you utilize repetition, okay? So why is omnichannel so effective? Well, because typically when people respond to marketing and they go online, they leave. About 96% of them, they leave. And so it's so integral for us to be able to re-engage these prospects. We have to give them multiple opportunities to engage in our marketing message. We never know, how many variables are in place or when they're going to be ready to respond. And there's so much data out there that shows that the utilization of omni-channel is driving a very high response rate. Purchase frequency can be up about 250% or higher. And typically what we see on our omni-channel campaigns is about a 23 to 46% lift in response over just a traditional direct mail campaign. So very effective. Even Brand United NAPCO research has reported tons of data about utilizing multiple channels and through the integration of mail to improve the response. So another strategy is growing your own hyper-targeted list. There is technology where you can actually take a pixel, put it on a website, and you can identify the people that are the most interested in your company, your brand, your products, your services. You can actually identify which products and services they're interested in. And this is really creating a hyper-targeted list. We're not prospecting anymore. These are people that are literally raising their hand and saying, hi, I am interested in what you have to offer. The problem is that only about 4% of people are actually reaching in, putting their contact information, purchasing, letting you know that they're interested. So we're leaving so much money here on the table. But through the utilization of technology, we can identify who those people are, and then we can market to them. And we can achieve about a 9 to an 18% response rate because we're marketing to the right people at the right place and at the right time. And this is a very good utilization of your marketing budget. And then, of course, very inexpensively, we can always add digital, and we can even improve your response from there. We do have a technology here at Direct Mail 2.0 that is called Lead Match that does just that. And pretty much everything that we went over today, are things that we have access to. By utilizing Direct Mail 2.0 in your direct mail campaigns, we can help you take advantage of these postage discounts. We can help you improve the response through the utilization of omnichannel and have access to technology to create hyper-targeted lists. So that's all I've got. Christine's going to drill down more into the price changes and some other ways that we can really cut costs on direct mail. So Christine.
Thank you, Morgan. An excellent job on the content you presented. And I mean, you were so spot on with the information you shared and the data and statistics. I mentioned early when I introduced myself, and I've been in this business a long time, and to see the change from the days where you would spray and pray and hopefully get 0.25% of a response rate to the available technology now and the resources available to, hyper target those customers and get those responses. So excellent job.
Thank you, Christine.
You're welcome. So you also mentioned, the increase in cost of doing all of this. And a certain piece of the equation in postage is changing again. It actually changed on July 10th. Mm-hmm. And it will change again in January. The Postal Service, as I hope a lot of you know, have been going through some transitions. And those transitions are going to be including a lot more revenue generating and lowering operating costs. There was an announcement this past week that they are removing discounts to a huge reseller network that has been in place for close to 40 years. And that's going to have a severe impact on a lot of players in the market. But anyway, for the recent price change, this is a snapshot of some of the average increases for the rate of postage. A single piece overall stamped went up 3.4%, metered mail went up 5.7%. The additional 1 ounce rate went up to 24%. That's 24 cents. That's a huge increase for them, as well as the non-machinable surcharge increased from 30 to 39 cents. And for those of you that may not be aware of what a non-machinable surcharge is, it's when your mail piece does not meet the standard requirements for a letter-sized mail piece. If the mail piece is too thick, if it has an unapproved wrapping on a letter-sized mail piece, if it's square and it doesn't meet the aspect ratio, anything that falls into that category is going to be charged 39 cents per piece. The 5-digit automation letter price, which I hope is where a lot of you guys that are attending are qualifying for your mail, and there is an increase in that of 6.8%. And for flats, it increased at least 2 percentage points above the class average. And flats have always been a challenge for the Postal Service in their ability to process flats efficiently and cost effectively. That's why the rates have just so drastically increased over the years. And you can move on to the next. So one of the benefits of postal software and your ability to present mail to the Postal Service and or a commingled service provider is your ability to balance methodologies. And at TEC Mailing, we have a term of postal optimization, which allows us to sort mail at the lowest possible cost in segregating all of your 5-digit mail so that you can direct present that to the Postal Service, and anything that doesn't qualify for your direct presentment would go to your commingled provider or your pre-sort partner. And that's kind of the best of all worlds in being able to achieve the lowest cost in postage. And there are also opportunities within manufacturing to improve costs, palletization and drop shipping around the country. That is something that's going to be even more critical with the rate increases is, how much can I get for the lowest price? And then the individual piece rates, you want to try and reduce as much as possible any residual mail that may be going at that higher piece rate. And we can move on there. So America is growing and on the move, and I've been using this particular content of data updated each year as the statistics change. But it's important to understand that 14 to 18% of America moves every single year. And that's 41 million Americans or families that file a change of address. And that's only the ones that actually file a change of address. Many more people out there that move and don't file that change. 19% of businesses move, with 2.3 million businesses filing change of addresses. So if you're a B2B client or mailer, you want to ensure that you're checking your business addresses against the national change of address. And the Postal Service is managing a nationwide database of 158 million addresses. And there's 1.8 million new addresses added every year with new buildings, condos, apartments, whatever the case may be. So it's important that you have a good handle on the data that you're processing to reach your targets and your prospects through not only your direct mail channels and your Omni channels, because the data that you're sending to is the critical element to ensure that it's received and that they're able to respond to your message. On to the next one. So I can see that someone's asked a question on how many people do not file a change of address. And there's no hard statistics on that, other than that you can find updated address information through proprietary change of address information. And there's probably at least another 10 to 15% of addresses out there of people that didn't file that change of address. And it is all about your database. Every mail piece that you are, producing, spending time on your creative. Morgan talked about your annual marketing budget and dividing that up to, 12 months a year so that you're consistently reaching your customers. You want to be consistently cleaning your data to make sure that it's clean, you're keeping it clean, and it's current. So correcting and standardizing the addresses is done through the CAS process, which is the coding accuracy support system that ensures that it's a deliverable address. Keeping it clean is making sure that you're doing that to those addresses on a cadence so that you're catching those 1.8 million new addresses and that you're getting updates to addresses that may have been updated by the Postal Service. And keeping it current, maintaining that change of address information from the National Change of Address. If you're taking a discount on your mailings, you're required to meet the move update process, which processing your data through NCOA is one of those methods, but it needs to be done within 95 days of your mailing. And then lastly, this is important information that if you're maintaining a database of 100,000 records, in 3 months, 4.5% of those people will move, and it would need to be run through change of address. 2% will likely be undeliverable as addressed due to a foreign or no forwarding. So those are the portion that may not have filed that change of address. So out of those 100,000 addresses, 6,500 of them may never reach your intended audience. So that's real important if you're utilizing marketing mail with no ancillary endorsements, that mail piece is not being forwarded to the recipient's new address. Okay, we can move on to the next slide. Business issues to consider. All of you are working so hard to maintain your own client base or your clients of your clients. 6 to 7 times more expensive to acquire a customer than to keep a current customer. And I know Morgan has statistics, of what it does cost to acquire a new customer, and they can be pretty extraordinary. 59% of Americans would try a new brand or company for a better service experience. And 91% of unhappy customers will not willingly do business with you again. So when you get to undeliverable mail or undeliverable packages associated with data quality, it's not about the return package or return mail. It is what is your process to maintain consistent in touch with your customer and know where they live. And we can go on to the next. Undeliverable mail has a financial impact to every organization. And one of the parts of our business that we're working in is in the parcel side of the business. And I know it has nothing to do with direct to mail 2.0 platform and selling mail, but the statistics are applicable to your first class mail that you may be sending out also, whether it's a bill or an invoice. Undeliverable mail is extremely costly to every business. And these are some of the things to keep in mind when you're having to manage undeliverable mail. And we can go on to the next one. These are high-level costs. I've been teaching about undeliverable and return mail for quite some time. And on average, an undeliverable physical mail piece is $3, which is the print, the postage, the handling, researching where a new address may be. And we certainly know that it's inefficient, There's errors, audits, data issues, and certainly delays. But when you get into identifying the value of that mail piece, if this is a utility company sending out all of their monthly invoices, and Brad leaves town and moves and doesn't file a change of address, and he doesn't get his last invoice, he doesn't pay his last invoice, they're out that amount of money, times the volume of other undeliverable returned invoices. And in the case of pharmaceuticals, and if you are on a cadence of receiving a prescription every 3 months, these pharmaceutical companies are shipping out these pharmaceuticals without checking addresses. And they are getting returns that are costing their organizations hundreds of millions of dollars. But that's my soapbox, and I'm off of it now, so we can move on. And the point of my soapbox and how it affects your direct mail pieces. If you sent out a campaign of 100,000 pieces and 16% of those had address errors, that's 16,000 mail pieces that may not have gotten delivered. And if you had a 1% response ratio, that affects 160 potential prospects. If you had a closing ratio of 50%, that's lost sales of 80 pieces. Let's say you were selling a pretty big ticket item that cost $50,000. That's a total loss of sales of $4 million. And if you did that campaign 4 times a year, now we're at $16 million. And if you had a 5-year plan, that's $80 million. These are true hard fact numbers that you can actually use this equation with your own numbers. By virtue of you processing your data through Cassidence UA, you know the quality of your data. And one of the statistics that comes out of there and that you should be suppressing and not mailing are vacant addresses. I don't know if everybody on the call knew this or not, that the Postal Service will identify every address on your mailing list that nobody lives there and that you should not mail to. I can't even tell you how many times people don't know that exists, don't suppress it. And this includes those pharmacy companies shipping pharmaceuticals to a vacant address that ultimately get returned. So that is important information, and we can go on to the next one. Adapting to change. You know, we started out this particular webinar with information on informed delivery and ways that you can improve your campaigns, save money, and get better response rates. Under pricing, you want to enhance whatever work sharing you can so that you're getting your lowest discount. You're pre-sorting your mail to the deepest discount. You're entering your mail at the closest destination through drop shipping, and that you're obviously automating where you can. Mail strategy, optimizing your lists. I know Morgan mentioned, you know, being able to identify your exact customer and the demographics of those people that are hitting your websites and responding. And you want more people like that, and being able to utilize, you know, list depending to get those data elements that are going to be able to allow you to target to those channels, those customers through those Omni channels. And then we talked about merging and co-mailing through those drop shipping opportunities. And mail piece design is always an opportunity to look at. And I know that Morgan also mentioned your testing, and you make sure that you're not testing more than one element. Maybe it's the design of the mail piece versus the copy. You don't want to change up too many elements that you can't measure the testing against. reducing the weight of the mail piece, or conversely, increasing the weight of the mail piece. If you're doing an envelope mailing at first class, you can mail 3.5 ounces for the same rate. And if you're consistently mailing 1 ounce worth of material in the envelope, you're wasting 2.5 ounces of weighted material that you could be sending. Dimension changes. So there was a change in postcard dimensions a year ago, last August. And that increased the maximum postcard size from 4.25 to 6x9, so that you can mail a 6x9 postcard at the postcard rate, which is a phenomenal opportunity in gained real estate to utilize those larger cards to get your message where you're going. And I do have here postcards versus envelopes. And there are people that test both, and there are statistics that do say the number 10 envelope always wins. But it depends what you're selling too. But we know postcards, you don't have a choice but to look at the content because it's not an envelope. Next slide, please. So adapting to change some more. Reducing handling, binder pre-sorts. We talked about destination entry. Mailing strategy, and this is a really important one in timing and how you're planning your campaigns for when they're going in the mail versus when they're hitting in home. And the wonderful benefit of watching your distribution through tracking as well as your informed delivery. As we know, there are some major cycles within the calendar year around mailing. You know, peak fall mailing season where every catalog in the world is distributed. You know, then we have the holiday season where it's, you know, the e-commerce is time to step up and ship all their packages and parcels. Maybe you don't want to be doing a marketing campaign in the middle of December when everyone's trying to get their Christmas cards and packages delivered. And so you really have to think about the timing of your campaign. And then back under mail piece design, optimize compatibility for, you know, whatever you can automate in the production process and avoid manual operations. Yes, there are fulfillment companies that will sit there and handwrite envelopes for you, but there's a machine that will do the same thing. And it's going to pay a lot less. And then I'm going to, you know, beat my drum about accurate addressing. And that is just, you know, my claim to fame is all about the address. You can have the prettiest mail piece in the whole wide world, but if you don't have a good address, it's not getting anywhere. And then on to the next one. And that's all we have.
Fantastic. You're such a wealth of information, Christine. So I always
Thank you,
appreciate
Morgan.
everything that you
Appreciate
have to
that.
share. Yeah, I'll always, you know, throughout the years, you've always provided so much valuable content to the industry and how we can improve our direct mail campaigns. And yeah, you're just a wealth of knowledge. So I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate you joining us today. If anybody has any more questions for Christine, there's contact information there. If anybody has any more questions for us regarding the promo or technology, you can reach us there. We are running some promos through the end of July. So any existing partners interested in taking advantage of the informed delivery promo, whether that's lowering the cost on the informed delivery campaigns you run through the platform, acquiring the appropriate license so that you can run the mail tracking and informed delivery campaigns, or anyone who is not a partner on the call today, or anyone using the direct mail marketing channel that's interested in this, we have solutions. So reach out and we can help you with that if you want to learn more about that. Christine, did you have anything else that, oh yeah, what's your email address, Christine? C. Erna, right?
Yes, so it's funny because Fiora's just posted it up just as I posted it up without even asking.
Oh, there
So
it is.
great minds think alike, and thank you. And let me put my phone number there as well.
All right. Does anybody else have any questions? Travis Lee raised his hand. Travis, are you able to post your question in the chat? Oh, it was an accident. Okay. No worries. Well, thank you everyone for joining us today. We really appreciate you taking some time out of your afternoon to spend it with us. You included, Christine. I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their afternoon. Thanks.
Bye-bye,
Thank you
guys.
all.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.